Sports Close-Up with my co-host Ed Marin. This is Mike Fiorillo. Today's show, Meadville Boys Lacrosse, fresh off winning District 10 against Cathedral Prep. Starting out with the head coach, Craig Gump. And Gumper, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
How many years is this for you being a head coach?
This is my second year as a head coach with the varsity program. I did 3 years, maybe it was 4 years with the middle school, and then moved up last year.
So how long has this program been in existence?
We started in 2012. It was the fall of 2012. They just practiced. There was a handful of players, probably around 15, 16 players at the varsity JV level. And then the following spring season, 2013, we scrimmaged a couple teams, and so we really got things rolling in 2014.
So relatively new program.
Yes.
And this is the thing that you guys were shooting for, and I think you started working on this when you were coaching the middle school. Correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of the young men that help achieve this played for you at the middle school level.
That's correct. In fact, the senior class was the first undefeated middle school team we had, and we started that season surprising everybody because the year before we won 4 games. Then the next season, everything seemed to click. We had an addition of a really good coach, Mark Saltrelli, who played at Mercyhurst, came on board with me, and we got things rolling. And we played solid defense, solid offense, and we surprised everybody in the league, and they went undefeated.
Now, last year you could see your team coming of age, especially near the end of the season as your team played better and better. This year, Gumper, one of your goals was this trophy right here. You felt you had a lot of personnel coming back, and if they played as a team, you'd be a tough out.
Yeah, I looked at returning class that we had. We had 24 returning lettermen this coming season. We were really young last year, a lot of inexperience. They were thrown into the fire. I think I had 6 freshmen playing at one point, plus 3 sophomores. We knew that they would take their lumps, but they'd also get their experience for this coming season. I also knew how the other teams would match up with us, whether offense or defense, and I thought that we matched up really well in both cases, and I expected us to do well this year.
Now, you coming in, you take over last year. Did you actually really expect to actually win the District 10 this year? I know we've talked, and just seeing that these kids that come up, even your juniors and seniors that have been with each other for a long time, and they were the undefeated, back to back. But did you really have, faith in them if they meshed into that chemistry that you were bringing in? Did you have a feel that you could actually beat Prep?
Well, actually, I did. I knew what they had graduating. I knew what we had coming up. I knew matching-wise that we were probably more athletic than them, and defensively, I think.
And there goes our thing.
I think that we have the best defense. With the poles and our LSMs and our goalie combination of everything. I think we had the best defense coming into the season. But in addition to that, though, it was the off-season that convinced me that we could do it. We got immediately, as soon as the Navigators was over, we immediately started weight training, strength training, conditioning training. We got on the field as often as we could. We were on the field in January and February when the weather was nice. So I knew that I had a good core of players that were committed to the program, and I told them, it's not, you don't do what the other teams do, you have to do more than what they're doing. And I know that there were times we had 23 kids in the off season doing things, and we carried it through all the way to the end of February before the season started. We were in the gym 3 nights a week, plus on Saturdays, and we weight trained, so we were ready.
Yeah, I do a lot of, I film for you and stuff like that with the game, and like this year's team was, they gelled a lot more than what they did last year, but there was a couple games, there for a while that they weren't, like bonding that well. The passes weren't there, whatever, but against Prep, I think that was the completest game that I've ever seen all year that I had. I mean, wouldn't you say so? I mean, they were just, it was just like they were on the same page.
Yeah, especially the third quarter. You talk, and what happened was I told him, I said, look, we have the skills, we have the athleticism, we have the scheme that matches our skill sets, and I told him that what I was concerned about was their mental outlook during the game. How are they going to ride the ups and downs with the game? Are they going to point fingers? Are they going to stick together? So we spent a lot of time discussing and getting that into their head as far as sticking together and having each other's backs and stuff. And I think they really did. I mean, there was no panic in that first half. They were just ready to roll in the third quarter, and it really came out.
Gumper, your team showed a lot of confidence throughout the year. Some of your kids stepped up. There are certain situations, big game against Prep. Some of your key individuals played like they've been there many times before. You know, the game wasn't too big for them. They were relaxed. Even when they got behind a little bit, let the game come to them, made good plays. And I know you weren't surprised with that, like you said, the off season and so forth. But one of the things that is great too is, you know, anytime Meadville beats Prep in anything, that's a great thing because you get the public versus the private, and they do recruit. So let's be honest about that. And in every sport they have, you also beat them on their home turf.
Twice.
I tried to find out why it was there, and somebody told me, well, because we don't have a girls team, which I think is the stupidest reason why Meadville couldn't host it, because was that telling me is they couldn't have separate. You had to go one site and go to another. I mean, Cash girls had to play it at Prep because Villette is their field, and you had to play at Prep. So I think that's unfair, but that's for another show. But your team overcame all of that. How gratifying was you when you got to go home that night and sit back and, you know, rest for a second, think about the whole off season and what you and the team wanted to accomplish did happen?
Yeah, I'll be honest. When Fairview and Prep were paired up in the semis, some of the players were hoping we'd play Fairview. We match up really well against them. I told them all in one of our practices, I prefer to play Prep. And I want Prep to win. I want them to play us on their field, and I want to beat them again on their own turf. So I made sure that they had that mindset going in, that there's no fear. Let's go out and do what we got to do, and just let things roll as it is.
Where does this program go from here as far as the coach is concerned? You have a lot of people coming back. You're losing some key people. You feel confident next year's team could be strong also?
I think they're even potentially could be better offensively. I mean, we're losing probably one of the best right-handed, left-handed players. We have one senior on that offensive team right now.
Who is?
It's Cole Jordan. You know, we're gonna miss him tremendously next year. That means someone else is going to have to step up and cover his spot. I have confidence in everybody coming up through. If you listen to our roster on the announcements, you know, it's junior, sophomore, and so you know, we have just about everybody back except for Cole, and that's going to be a huge hole for us to fill. Big shoes.
What does this D10 championship do for your program?
I think it speaks volumes for it.
Validates it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a recruiting tool too. I think that you know, some players might be on the fence about playing. We lost some over the years here and there. Some key players I felt that would have been excelled in this sport, and some of them had come back.
Right.
You know, after I took over, they came back. I was hoping to get more out of it, but we started a roster at 40 players this year, which is phenomenal for a varsity JV. The middle school numbers have maintained throughout the years. I'd still like to have 10 to 12 per grade. And you know, we started 5th grade, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So,
you know, what was nice is when I was after you guys won, I came out on the field. There was a lot of middle school kids actually came up. I see one. It was dressed just for the fun of it, just to see what it felt like. But that's good because winning that, I think it's going to draw more, just like the football program has. When they win, you just continue to draw more and more kids, and it just helps out all of our programs. But I mean, I look at it that, I mean, this year was phenomenal. What's your expectation for next year? I mean, I feel, and even Mike says, I've been talking to him on the phone and throughout the whole year, we think you can repeat.
I agree. I think that defensively we're gonna have to have guys really step up because we're pretty much senior group defensively with our polls. The younger guys are going to have to do it, but they're capable. A lot of them had playing time this year too. You know, Alan Schwab stepped in our 4 overtime victory at McDowell and was up against the Player of the Year, you know, for McDowell, and did really well and stopped them 3 times. So as a freshman, I have confidence. You know, certain players are going to be hard to replace. That offensively, I think we're going to be able to score. So defensively, we just got to slow people down, I think, next year.
Yeah, that McDowell game was something else. Let me tell you, 4 overtime. It was a long night. But anything else here?
Yeah, you know, a lot of excitement this spring in Meadville. You had a great season. Lacrosse, track had a great season. A lot of kids went to states for track. Baseball team lost the D10 championship, but they had an outstanding season. Volleyball is having a great season. So it's good to see all Meadville sports perform well. It means a lot for the community and the school itself.
Yeah, I think it speaks volumes for the spring.
Yeah.
You know, just for the fact that we're all playing other sports and successful, and it'd be nice to have some more athletes, in some of the programs. I'm sure that baseball would like to have more, and we'd like to have more. But apparently there was enough to get some championships out of all of them.
So your upcoming game, it's either going to be Mars or Hampton, but most likely if Hampton loses, it's going to be Hampton. We play the number 2 seed. They're out of the Whippeal, so what do you think of that game coming up? Either one. I know that they're phenomenal in lacrosse. I've seen where they played prep last year and just destroyed them, and then they go the next step and then they get destroyed. It's like further inland you get in Pennsylvania, the stronger the lacrosse is.
Yeah, you get towards Harrisburg and State College area, then you go over to the Philadelphia area. They're a different level as it is. I was in training in the Harrisburg area, and a friend of mine is one of the varsity coaches, and I actually caught a game about a year ago while I was down there for training, just to see the difference. And there is a little different element with their style of play. There's things that we're going to have to adjust to in the first half when we play these teams, because they do things a little different, and that's why I scheduled Freeport. And we chose not to play South Fayette just because we can't risk any injuries. But it just gives us a different look, different styles and stuff.
Well, Gump, to end this with you with this, though, you're going to go to the next round. More experience for these kids. You have a lot of them coming back. Win or lose the next game, more experience they're going to gain in watching how those teams play. More, because they've had it for a while, and they've been around for a while playing lacrosse. That can't hurt you.
No, it can't. And 12 of our players have played in the Navigators Travel, so we've been upstate New York, western part of New York, not upstate, but western part of New York, playing against teams like Irondequoit. High school was ranked 8th in the country last year, and some of our polls played against their best attackmen and did really well against them. So that built their confidence as well.
And they've had lacrosse for about 20-something years up there.
I think it's...
They've been playing for a long time.
I think it's about 67
yeah,
years
exactly.
in some of those programs.
Yeah,
so
some of those programs,
they probably started there.
Some of their programs, that's their focal sport,
That's
too.
their primary, yes.
That's their
Number
primary
one.
sport. Yeah. Well, Gump, great job bringing this home to Meadville. Done a great job with this program. Continued success, and, winning another one next year, I'll be back.
Yeah, back to back, be great.
It'll be awesome.
Hey, and we're back here with the 3 gentlemen that are starting attack for the lacrosse team. To my left, we have Justice Marin, who's a junior, Nate Lee, who's a junior, and Andrew Durlink, who's a sophomore, who just came on this year, did a very good job. Mike, you want to start from my left, and you can drill Justice?
I'll throw a couple questions to Justice, who is Ed's son. And Justice, I got a chance to watch you play, and last year you had a great goal. When I saw that, I knew what kind of athlete you were. That was a fabulous job you did there. But more important than that, you seem to be relaxed. Some kids get too excited during the big game. And almost what the point is they're forcing the issue or making mistakes. You seem to let the game come to you. No game is too big for you. You have a quiet confidence about yourself. Do you feel that? You have always had that?
Yeah, I have. I'm not really like a cocky kind of guy. I'm just more like a quiet, and then I'll just sit back, wait for my looks if they're open, if they're in a window, pass it to them real quick.
Some of the goals you had in the D10 championship game were unbelievable with the angle you were at.
Yeah.
When you let those go, what are you looking at? I mean, as far as trying to get it past the goal, are you looking to shoot it at a certain place?
During practice, I'll practice no angle. We call it no angle, no problem. And I just try to, whenever there's a goalie in the net, shoot it at his feet. Whenever it's a no angle shot.
I mean, you had 2 of them that night from about the same angle, but on different ends of the field.
And what was it like for you? We'll get the other 2 young men's reaction to this also. What was it like for you when the final sound went off and you're walking off the D10 champ, you beat Prep on their field, and you got a chance to shake their hand and say, nice game, because you got the medal, maybe?
It felt great to me. We've been working at trying to win our D10 championship for forever, and we finally got it. And I think the whole team's happy. We made Coach happy.
Made your dad happy.
Yeah.
Well, and go back, you said about the Fairview goal. It's like I always told Coach and other players, like coach's son, Brody, and that always say, and Brody Bush, I say you're sneaky. Like you did it against McDowell in the 4th overtime again. I mean, do you just like sneak? I mean, how do you do it?
I mean, I don't really know. It's just if the defender turns his head, gotta cut. I mean, not our whole team does it. I don't do it all the time either, but
Right.
that's what we should be doing.
Okay. Nate, man, you put on about 7 to 10 pounds over the winter time. How's it feel to actually, when you got done and you put on muscle and come out here, could you tell a difference?
Yeah. In like my first 2 years in high school, I was like really scared to get at varsity games because everyone was so much bigger than me. But it just helped a lot with confidence, and I feel like my shot's a little bit more powerful now.
We see that. I mean, you're just like Justice, like kind of like Sneaky. You just know where to be when the bouncing ball comes and put it right in.
Yeah.
And all three of you guys, I'm going to tell you, are superb passers. You guys see everything that's going on out there, and you know, so a lot of times when you're in the middle, you can't really see as much, but you guys can actually sit back and let them move and find them open and have them just dunk it right in. I mean, all three of you guys are really good, but what's the most part of your game that you think is picked up from last year?
Probably my time of shooting, and then that's just because of the weight I put on. And then other than that, probably my passing.
I would say you guys got good vision. I mean, even Coach Gump was saying that last year you guys have it, and you guys have that. And I mean, can you tell, like, when you're going up against somebody that you actually have, you could beat them, like when you're going one-on-one and you actually have to go like head-to-head with them instead of dodging? Because I see you bulldozing sometimes and you get in there.
Yeah, like sometimes it happens to everyone. You walk on the field and you look at your defender and then see like, all right, if it comes down to it, I can beat this guy every time. Some teams just have weaker defenses than other. Like Prep has a good defense, so you didn't see us dodging that much.
Yeah.
And like the better teams, you'll see like Nick and Cole dodging more because they'll have the better matchups because they'll have shorties.
And that's a lot easier than coming from you three having to go against a long stick. But when you go up against a shorty, it actually makes you better.
Yeah.
Nate, do you play any other sports?
I just started playing soccer this year because I wanted something to do in the off season.
Do you think that helped a little bit?
Yeah, I think it helped a lot.
In what way?
I think it made me a better teammate because I didn't know much about soccer.
Right.
I just wanted to win. So when I was on the field, all I was worried about was doing my job and not messing up. And then that just helped me with lacrosse. I just want to win now.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate of kids playing more than one sport at the high school level.
I think that helped me probably the most out of anything.
Yeah, because you really don't know what you're going to do when you get older, but that's a good thing.
Andrew, my buddy, the one that always gets everybody hype. Hey, so how did it feel to take over for the injured Axel Yager? I mean, we missed his left-handed shot for being from that side on the goalie's left. But what surprised you most this year that you actually succeeded at?
Just being on that left side and being able to get even somewhat of a shot. My left, I feel like, is very weak, and that's something I need to work on.
Yeah. I know how it is, but then, you come in for him, and you did an outstanding job. You and Justice, like, moving and that, had a little bit of a chemistry. All three of you guys actually had chemistry together, and it was just phenomenal to watch. But you had a lot of assists also this year. I think you had like about 16 or 17 assists, I do believe, and that's very good coming in and starting for your first time. So, I mean, where do you see yourself at next year?
I like to see myself more as like a spot where I can get better passes off and actually start playing with the ball along with the pass and making moves instead of just getting an open spot, finding a guy and just quickly passing it, like becoming a smarter player. And
do you think hockey helped you with this?
Hockey definitely helped with like role playing and stuff. Like always, like playing with like Jamie and them. He always said, "This is your role. Don't stray from it. Work your best to do everything you need to do in that role." And I thought that this year my role as passer was covering up for Axel and being the one that can get a good pass off and getting that guy scored.
Yeah, because one of your goals, just like Justice's in that championship game, they were all at difficult angles. Was you surprised it went in?
On mine, that first one I had no clue. There were two guys on me, just trying to get the ball off. And that second one, I just saw an open spot and tried to put it in there.
Yeah, because I know that I think it was Nick was trying to pass it to Ranella, and it bounced and it went right in your stick, and it's just nice to be at the right place at the right time. But I mean, you put it right where it was supposed to be. I mean, it was a phenomenal shot. I mean, how do you see you guys three next year? Honestly, I mean, I want to hear from all three of you. What do you think, Andrew?
I think the only way we can go is up, because if we're probably going to keep our same line for next year now that Axel's gone, or at least we hope so. So we can just keep working on our chemistry, keep working on how we play together and our
So you guys
passing.
gonna get better, Nate?
Yeah. I mean, our chemistry is really good since we've all been playing together for a really long time. So I agree. The only way we can go is up, and we're all young. I think there's going to be more scoring from the offense, like on all cylinders, from the midfield too, from the younger guys, because we're just losing one senior. So yeah.
And go ahead.
I don't know. Our chemistry's there. I don't know. All three of us are kind of assist kings.
You're gonna have good chemistry because you guys are coming back. One of the things though is you're gonna find out. Number one is you're gonna have to work harder.
Yeah.
You're gonna have the bullseye on your back. You're not gonna surprise anybody next year. Everybody's gonna say Meadville's the team we gotta beat.
Yeah.
So they're gonna work twice as hard, like you guys did, to beat you. So what you don't want to do is say, oh, we got everybody back, we should be good. That doesn't happen unless you continue to work hard,
Yeah.
right? And you know that. And you play hockey. A lot of similarities between hockey and lacrosse,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I mean, passing, defense, shooting well, and that gets you in shape for lacrosse if you're playing hockey with Coach Long.
It does a lot. We've been starting our fitness test up early for hockey, and it's been brutal.
Yeah, no doubt. So it's great you guys are coming back, but remember, to get another one of these, you're gonna have to work twice as hard. I know Coach Gump and his staff will make sure that happens. Don't rest on what happened last year. If you want another one, get it. All right, you're gonna have to get it. And who's gonna hand it to you, especially next year? Because like I said, Prep. I tell you right now, Prep's coach has you circled as the team to beat. All right, and
yeah.
And Prep's getting a little tired of losing to me, but they've been losing to me for a lot in basketball, and they've been losing now in lacrosse. They don't like that, and that's a great thing. So great job, all three of you. Here's something else, though. You know what's really cool about this, guys? Being that you're so young and you achieve this, when you're 50 years old, think about that, which is a long time from now, I won't be here, but when you're 50 or 40, 30, you go to a reunion, first time ever in the history of Meadville, D10 championship lacrosse, you were on that team. That is pretty cool right there. That's something that you can win next year, and a year after that they might win, but being a member of the first team and being part of the first team and contributing to the first team, that's awesome. Something no one can ever take away from you. You guys made history, if you realize that. It's pretty cool. Walk down the hall saying, man, I made history, man. I'm pretty bad. So congratulations to you guys. Phenomenal season. A lot of people in Meadville are very proud of you people. There's a lot of people in Meadville that don't even know lacrosse is yet.
Yeah.
I think you're going to open some eyes. I think you're going to see more people attend games next year when they find out you'll be prepped for this thing on their field, as Coach Gumper says, which is a great achievement. It's awesome, and something to take with you forever. I know how Justice's dad reacted. How did your parents react when the game was over?
My mom helps a lot, so she had to run real quick and get the pizza. But she told me she was real proud of me. She felt just like Ed. It's a really long time coming. She feels just like all of us. She's put as much hard work into this as we all have.
Yes, she has. Thank you, Kathy.
My mom came running onto the field screaming, "You did it!" And you guys finally beat Prep in the D10 championship. And she said she was proud of me. And same with my dad. My dad came coming on. He said, "Great game. Really kicked butt out there." And just my family said they were very proud of me, and I was thankful for that.
Yeah, it's a family thing, and the family gets to share this accomplishment with you, which is it's an awesome thing, and the community gets to share it. And guys, great job. All you guys are back next year, correct?
Sir? Yep.
So this summer, some of you will probably be playing lacrosse a little bit or getting ready for hockey or whatever you're going to do. Enjoy it, and hopefully next year we'll be back to interview you three.
Fully.
All right.
back. We're with the midfield line. To my left, we got Nicholas Gerleski. He's a junior. We got Cole Jordan, senior. And we got Timmy Plyler, who is a sophomore.
You know, before you get into the questions, Ed, I think one thing I want to bring out, you guys are called middies. Tell people what that means, because I think you guys do more running than
Go ahead,
everybody.
senior.
What does it mean to be a midi?
Well, middies, their main priority is getting the ball in the offensive zone and out of our own defensive zone. Just getting it around, moving the ball back and forth, and being able to run that distance.
You guys run them more than anybody then, correct? You
Oh, yeah.
guys are going from the offensive zone to the defense zone, back and forth. So you have to have great peripheral vision, I would imagine, being in the middle, correct?
Yes.
You got to look at all sides. Why'd you want to be a midi, guys? What did coach say? You look like you're a midi.
Go ahead, Nick.
I had to be a midi. They switched me from attack.
How'd you like it?
It's all right. It's a lot easier.
Really?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Why?
You get the short stick matchup, so it's just makes it a lot easier on offense.
So what kind of stick do you have?
Short stick.
Okay. So when you're bringing the ball in and the defender has a long stick, doesn't bother you?
It depends who it is, honestly.
Okay. Anybody else want to agree with that or add to it?
That's pretty much it.
Timmy's really, really low. You're going to have to speak up a little bit, buddy. Nick, I've seen you play. You, Nate, Justice, and the majority of the juniors started all together in 7th grade. And you guys were part of that, back to back and all that, and then coming through. And the bad thing is, the last 2 years you were actually hurt. Your freshman year, you were starting. I can't remember, something with your leg. You tweaked something, and you were out the rest of the year. But then last year you come on, and then you pulled your groin, I think it was, wasn't it? Or hamstring or something.
hip flexor, I don't know.
But you still played well. This year you come in. Did you shock yourself?
Yeah, a little bit.
On what was going on?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to do this well.
It's you started shooting left-handed this year.
Yeah.
Did Cole have something to do with that?
Yeah, Cole motivated me to be both-handed, two-handed.
It helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I see you're not nowhere as near as what Cole is now, but last year he was where you were at with his left hand.
Yeah.
So how did that fare for you when you come in and you started doing that?
Gives you a lot more options on offense. You're harder to guard if you have two hands, so.
Yeah, I mean, and I was telling Coach Gump, when I watched the D10 title game, and Doug Hanaway and I were actually calling the game, but I thought that was the best complete game by everybody. Passing, dodging, defense, face-offs. Isaac Chapman's not here, and I don't know why, but he won almost every single face-off that he had against that kid, better than what he did the first 2 meetings. I mean, I wish he was here, but don't you say that was probably the best overall game?
Yeah, I'd say besides like the first quarter, we were low on scoring, but altogether we put a nice game together.
Sometimes it gets used to little nerves and everything. Cole, what do you think?
Yeah, it's all about, starting the game off early, getting off to a good start, and just keep on pushing through with it. I mean, it's all about momentum. Like Coach has always said, riding the waves, just going with what you're given.
You come in, wasn't sure if you were going to play this year because you wanted to work, and thank God everybody talked you into it because just you're quick. You could get down there. You're strong. They call you Dozer, I heard. Excavator. Oh, okay. But no, I mean, both of your shots have velocity, and it's like both of them are about the same strength. When did you actually start working on that? Because that just gives you an upper hand,
Probably the summer after my sophomore year, I really started getting on it. I mean, obviously, with having Coach Saltrelli, he told me from 8th grade, use both hands. Start working on using both hands. Ever since then, I've been going back and forth, just going outside and shooting for hours on end and just practicing with it.
Yeah, I know they're going to miss you, especially on that midi line. These 2 gentlemen beside you are going to pick up, but just your speed and your strength, I think, is what they're going to miss just a little bit. I mean, because it's like you never got wore down. Did you play soccer too?
Yeah.
See, that's another thing, and that helps you out a little bit when you're out here, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
greatly.
Go ahead, Mike. You have something for me?
They say, Cole, you're a senior. So what's your plans?
I'm still undecided. I mean, I have a couple things lined up that I could get into, but I'm not really set on anything yet.
I mean, you're going to graduate here in about a month. I think maybe your decision will be coming pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
You want to go
It's
to
gonna have
school
to.
or work, or what do you want to do?
Go to work,
Oh, good.
probably.
What are you looking at?
Either staying with the family business
What's that?
or Jordan Specialty Excavating. We do quite a bit of that. It's where the name excavator comes from.
Right.
It's either that or going into Powerline. I'm still undecided, like I said.
And that's good because people are realizing now not everybody has to go to college to have a good living. I mean, there's a lot of jobs out there you can do well. You know, I know plumbing, electrician, excavating, and stuff. If you're willing to work, you can make money.
Yep.
And that's the thing. So evidently you have a good work ethic from your family.
Oh, I tried to.
Yeah. You go work out with Dad a little bit once in a while? Or?
Oh yeah, all
Yeah,
the time.
Play with the tractor and everything.
Oh yeah.
That must be pretty cool.
I came from work actually.
Did you?
Timmy Plyler made a few words just like Ethan Hamill and Justice Merritt. You guys don't even say anything.
I'm just naturally quiet.
So how was it?
Until you get on the field, right?
Oh yeah, you gotta be loud.
So how was it this year to get out there and be part of the team even more and contribute? And you're just like Cole. You don't run out of gas.
Yeah.
I mean, I know like you were trying to run around a lot that last game and you did it. But what did you do in the off season? Is this the only sport you play?
It's yeah. I've broken off all my other sports. I used to play every sport there is, but I finally started focusing on lacrosse only.
Because you do other things too, like with music and school and all
Yeah,
that stuff. So
yeah.
I mean, you're dedicated to that also, which is really great because it'll take you far when you graduate. What was your expectations for this year on you?
Well, I mean, just to help the offense score a little bit, get some assists. I mean, obviously just try and win. But yeah.
I see you have a nice little red mark on your neck there. That was for the championship game, and they didn't get called for it. But you know, we won't get into that one. But how are you feeling?
Well, yeah, the night when I got hit, I couldn't speak. It was hard to breathe and.
Did anybody notice you couldn't speak?
Oh yeah, yeah. Sounded like I was a smoker.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I like that.
But I was just sore for a couple days, but now I'm feeling better.
That's good. How did it feel holding that trophy?
Great. I mean, like nothing else. I mean, middle school we got this, little medal and that, but we didn't get all this recognition or anything.
Right, and
I'm going to give it to the senior to hold a little bit longer. So he's not going to be able to get one next year.
see, that'll be part of you for the rest of your life, man.
Right.
What do you think next year? I seen this year you were down a little bit on goals, but you contributed in a lot of ways, like ball control. I mean, you held on to the ball, you dodged and everything, but you got it to the right person also to make it to finish. But I expect bigger things from you next year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I really do. Just the style that you play, you're really good. You got a strong shot. But where do you think you're going to be at next year?
Well, I hope to score more. Definitely going to work on the off season. Both hands, working on shooting, getting a better pass, and all that, so I can contribute way more.
How's it feel though? Feels great.
Yeah, it feels good.
Cole, we're gonna miss you next year, man. And you know I am. I am. I always talk to you after every game, but how do you feel? Working so hard, aren't you glad you came back now?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Definitely.
guys, what was the mood in the locker room before your game started? You're playing prep. Some coaches, some of you guys, not maybe you three, but some of the guys are hoping that Fairview was going to win. You're playing prep, your practice. You're in the locker room now. Game's about to start. What was said? Anything?
I mean, I don't like prep. I never really have.
I don't think anybody does.
So, I mean, coming into the game, I was ready to, play hard and
What was the locker room
Come
like?
through.
Was there anything said amongst each other, or the coach Gump say anything before you took the field to start the game?
he got us fired up. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was.
Well, what
that was
about
fun.
now? I'm going to ask you guys this. I asked Justice the day of the game. I was like, "Are you ready?" He's like, "Dad, it's just another game." Here, I'm more hyped than what he is.
Yeah.
Was you hyped, or you just figured it was another game too?
I think it's just another game. That's the best way to look at it.
I like that.
Yep. Same.
Timmy?
Yeah, I think it was just another game. I mean, we played them before. We know what we wouldn't know what to expect. So
Yeah, because Coach Gump said he couldn't sleep, but I didn't have
By
trouble.
confidence, you guys
Yeah.
are pretty
Oh, yeah.
confident in your abilities, right? And if you,
With the team's abilities, yeah.
yeah, and with, you know, if you worked hard, you know what the team's like, you know what your abilities are.
Yep.
You guys probably felt when you took the field, they have to beat us.
Oh yeah.
And then when you guys won and the sound goes off and you're getting the trophy and you're shaking their hands, that's got to be the greatest feeling in the world. That's a natural high.
Oh
Correct?
yeah. Yes.
Tell
Definitely.
us about how your families react. When
My
the game was
family?
over. All three of you when the game was
I
over.
mean, my mom wasn't able to really watch the game because she was in Maryland for work.
Oh, okay.
But just with everything that went down, I mean, the feeling throughout my family was mutual. It was amazing. It felt so good to be prep. I mean, it really is no feeling like being prep. It's just a really good time.
I always called it the dreaded prep ramblers. Might offend some people. If you've been in Meadville a long time, if you coached in Meadville or played a sport in Meadville, you understand. What about your family? How was the reaction when the
I
game was over?
mean, all happy. Obviously, a bunch of people telling me congrats and a bunch of texts and all that, and posting. But yeah, everyone is happy.
That's right. We live in a social media world today.
Yep.
I think they're all pretty proud of us.
Your dad don't really say much.
Yeah, he does.
Al Gorleski's his dad, just to let you know. But he doesn't really say much. But I mean, I know he's proud of you when he's up there. He'll sit beside Kathy Lee or come up with me. But I know he was happy. But I'm glad that you guys got to share this. I mean, you guys come a long way. Just the chemistry of the team could just go up, man. I mean, you guys are just going to have more faith in each other next year. And Cole, appreciate the memories, man. I mean, you were a good player. Hopefully, you could still work and maybe go to college and still do that. Do something that you love, you know. And
You might come back and help Coach Gump down the road.
never know.
Never know. But I tell you another thing, though, guys. First one.
Yeah.
All you on the team that made the first one, something the rest of your life. That is cool, right there. I was on the first one. You know, when you're
Feels good.
7 years old, and you're talking to your grandkids. I remember back in 2019, man. I was on the first team to win Lacrosse D10. And the grandkids say, "Okay, Pop, thank you." So
We got 10 now.
Thank
so
you,
we're
guys.
good.
Yeah, congratulations to all three of you.
Thank you.
Cole, good luck in your future. And
Thank
that'll
you.
be a bright one for you. And you guys are back. And if you guys do it again, we'll have you back.
Alrighty. Sweet.
Hey, we're back here with defense and the lone goalie. You guys played superb this year. To my left, we have DeMason, Gump, McCurdy, Bouchaw, and Hamill. Hamill, you come in playing D-pool first time ever, and you did a really good job.
Thank you.
I know at the beginning you were telling me here a couple weeks ago that it was kind of like sometimes you get messed up or whatever, but still I seen some plays out of you that really helped the goalie out and stopping, the guy from shooting and everything. But how do you feel coming from attack down to D-pool?
I feel more comfortable when I was on attack. As I'm watching the game, I kind of thought more defensively, and it all kind of just clicked with me more than offense. So it was kind of easier.
Yeah, because I saw you last year and I was like, he likes contact. He wants to go out there and hit somebody. But you actually enjoyed it.
Yep.
So how does it feel your first playing defense senior year, going out on top?
I mean, going out on top's nice. I just wish I would have played defense from freshman year to now. Could have done a lot better.
Yeah, it's something to get used to with that long pull. I know you had a little bit of trouble sometimes picking it up, but it happens. I mean, it was your first year doing it, but I thought you played very well.
It's definitely great being a part of the defense that won the D10 championship.
Yeah,
That's exactly right. You said, "Oh, maybe too bad I didn't play it earlier." you were part of the team. You helped contribute to win a D10 championship. First one ever?
Yeah.
It's got to make you satisfied right there. I mean, something that, first one ever stays with you forever because you were the first people to do it. So that's pretty cool. Why do you like lacrosse?
It's just a real fun sport to play, and it kind of just relaxes you and lets you forget about everything else.
Okay.
So what are you going to do after you leave?
I'm joining the Air Force.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you. I know
So
your older brother's actually in the Air Force.
I think you might know my neighbor then. He's looking to doing that too, Clark Wade.
Oh, yeah, Wade. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, because his dad was in the Air Force.
Yeah, his dad was for 20 years, I think.
Right.
Now we're going to go with another senior, Alex DeMason. How you been, man?
I've been good.
Played really well this year.
Thank
you
you.
know, how did it feel to have one of your best friends beside you? Actually, I bet you were kind of relieved, huh?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was great having this group of guys on defense. Honestly, just I mean, out of 4 years of high school lacrosse, this has probably been my favorite year, and our chemistry has just been so good on defense that we've.
Alex, being a defender, you're talking about chemistry. How important is it to know where you want to do with that little ball that's kind of hard if it hits you before you get it? Like, intuitive in your mind, where I want to go with it right away, or what do I need to do?
All right. So I
Because you don't have a lot of time to think. It's a reaction sport.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'd say having guys that I can trust on defense, like especially for like a clear scenario, if I needed to give it back to like a pole or goalie for whatever reason, that I could trust them in that scenario, that they're going to make that play and that they're going to do their job correctly and get it clear to our offense. So I would say that the chemistry kind of goes back into that, knowing that I can rely on those guys in big situations.
And what makes you guys so important, the goalie and the defense, I don't care what sport you participate in, if you don't have a strong defense, you're not going to win. You can have all the offense you want. You need defense to carry the team. And when you're in that championship game when Prep went up, right?
Yeah.
You guys battled back. You guys started to make the stand. That's it. We got the lead, and they're not taking it back from us. And that's where the defense comes in. And that's where you played defense 4 years?
Well, I actually was on attack for my 7th grade year to 10th grade, but last year was my first year.
So that helped, right? Having a couple years of experience on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Now you guys have the long stick, correct?
Yep.
I gotta believe it takes a little bit of used to playing with a long stick. Does it? I mean, to me it would.
I mean, I suppose at first playing wall ball with it last year, it was a little weird, but it's actually not as challenging as you'd think, because you could just choke up on your stick a little bit, and I mean, enough practice with anything, you'll be good at it. So
Something you just said is interesting. All you guys probably done it too, wall ball, correct? Which is something you can do by yourself, right? You don't need a bunch of guys to practice with. You just find a place somewhere and have your lacrosse stick in the ball and practice. How important is it to do just little things like that to make you better?
Very important, very, very important. It's just that getting that, everything you can do just to get better, especially throwing and catching, just, the basics of lacrosse.
How hard is it when you're running to catch that ball with that big stick? Because I've seen a lot of people with big sticks lose it, and the ball come flying out a lot. How hard is it to maintain possession?
It's pretty difficult to protect all of it, how long it is and stuff, but once you get a hang of it, how to hold it, and you kind of get used to carrying it around, even though it's kind of a burden carrying the long thing around, carrying the ball weight. But at times you do kind of forget how long it is, and then leave a trail or whatever, someone hit it, choke up too far, or choke down, stuff. It's hard to keep your air.
How hard is it for you to play on a team when your dad's the coach? And do you listen to the game when you get home? Not just what you did over and over.
Yeah, my dad stays up watching the game like 4 to 6 times a night right after, so I get to hear everything I've done wrong and been right. But mostly,
I mean, and the team.
Oh
and
yeah,
so forth,
yeah. I hear everything first, and it's not easier for me, but.
No, it's not easy
no, it's
for you.
definitely
I
not.
know that, and that's true. I've known it's the same thing with Shane McElhaney playing basketball for his dad. It's the same thing, but it's also gratifying too, right? Because it's something that you'll remember the rest of your life. Your dad's the coach, you're the player, first District 10 championship. That's pretty awesome.
It is.
Yeah, we'll
So
go
you
back.
beat your brother out a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
I
you
had
got the
it.
D10 championship. Your brother didn't.
Yeah, I had.
Does that make you feel good?
Oh yeah, yeah, it made me feel good. A little bit of bragging rights.
Yeah.
And Brody, what can I say? Hey, I'm going to say, like I said in the championship game, you're a beast, dude.
Hey, thanks.
And I tell you what, when your dad put you on the long stick midi, made a huge difference that game. Just the amount of ground balls you were getting, the one that you gave to Justice and he scored, and the one you got to Nate Lee and he passed. I mean, it was just phenomenal. I mean, you hustled, your leadership. You can't ask for a better kid to be a captain and what you've done to help this team. Because I've heard you talk. I'd come to practices. You would tell people what they're doing wrong, and you never got mad at them.
Yeah.
That right there just speaks volume for your character. Now, I know you didn't get that from your dad.
Oh, no.
You got it from your mom, right?
Yeah, from my mom. Yeah, from my mom's side.
So
Yeah.
how does it feel to go out like this?
Oh, it feels great. It's everything that I wanted. I mean, from 8th grade, winning it to now, it's always been the goal, and I've been ready, been waiting.
Yeah, because I saw pictures that I think I don't know if it was your dad or Stump, they put on there, and it had all you guys. Boink, 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 all the juniors, and it was just like how small you guys were, and you guys built that all through, and that's excellent. So tell everybody where you're going to college.
Mercer's played Mercer up there from Lacrosse.
So we get to come up there and see you play, right?
Hopefully. You guys
So
want
with your dad being the coach down here next year, he can get everybody tickets, and the whole team can go up there and watch you play.
Probably
right?
work on that. That makes sense. I'm sure that's one thing that the team would like to do, and the coach would like to take the team out to. I'm sure the boosters would help with that to go watch a college game. That sounds right.
Now we're going to go
Good
to
school too, Brody.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's a good academic school, Mercer has too.
Good job this year, Brody.
And I know the academic student you are, you're not going to have a problem.
Thank you.
Brody Bouchaw. Man, the guy that misses 2 games.
Yeah.
Told you to wear a cup, huh?
Yeah.
Back-to-back games he gets nailed. You okay now?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, that's good. Just watching you love to hit too. And those 2 that were there, the one, you kind of came up underneath his chin on the second one, but it was, and I know Coach was kind of relieved that you came back for this game because it helped out dramatically also, because if you needed a rest, Ethan was there, and just good rotation. How do you feel about this championship?
Oh, I love it. I mean, just like Brody said, ever since I picked up a lacrosse stick, my middle school years we won twice, and then since high school started, all I wanted was that District 10 championship.
Aren't you glad your dad talked you into it, playing this year? Because you almost gave it up.
Yeah, I almost did.
But it's good to play 2 sports.
It is.
Like Mike says, he goes, it's good to play 2 sports, and colleges actually look at that too. So you never know. You might get, offers from football and lacrosse. Who knows? Or it might just be football, but it helps you throughout. But what's your feelings about this team next year?
Next year, I think we'll be just as strong as we are this year. I mean, I think we have a strong underclass that's coming up.
Schwab that's coming up. I think he's going to be really good.
I think he's a very smart player. I'm happy he'll be up.
Jordan, the comedian of the team.
Oh my.
Excellent job this year. You stepped in for Eddie Kaufman. We could tell that you were an athlete and a goalie last year when you would have to fill in for Eddie, but just a superb year this year, man. I mean, just a save that you did. What can you say about this defense right here?
It's nice knowing I'm not the only one back there. The goalie's the last. It should be the last support. Where if we have defensemen that are helping me out, it takes the stress off a little bit. Especially Brody, and Brody helps us out a little bit.
And now you're going to be just one Brody.
Yeah. Back to the.
And we're going to miss that leadership, Brody Gump. So just to let you know they're going to miss it.
Jordan, do you play any other sports?
I play hockey.
Goalie?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And I could tell you, actually a long time ago, this is back in the early 70s, I played hockey in Long Island. I was a goalie in our high school. I can tell the way you move.
Yeah, I think it helps out a lot.
It helps out tremendously. Yeah, exactly, because you're sliding side to side and positioning your glove. And a little different, though, because the stick's different, obviously. And, that ball, I see a lot of players, even on lacrosse, you guys jump in here, try to keep it low for their goals.
Low shots, yeah.
Low shots. How tough? You get screened out sometimes? Is it still tough?
Yeah, I definitely get screened a little bit. You gotta yell at the defenseman a little bit. But I think it helps with hockey because there's more guys like in that compacted area in hockey than there is in lacrosse. And, like finding your way, like moving your head around them is like one of the basic things you learn to be a goalie in hockey. So you do that a lot in lacrosse too. But I think the biggest difference is definitely the stick, because in hockey, like your stick's like your last line of defense, where in lacrosse it's the main thing that you use besides your body.
You know, and the guys were saying, Coach Gump talked about momentum. The big thing about a goalie, you can make a big save somewhere in the game, could turn all that momentum around, and the team feeds off it, the defense feeds off it, they get it to the middies, get it to the attackers, and boom, Meadville's on their way. And do you see that as being part of your job?
Yeah, I think that I'm the last guy in defense, but then also the first guy in offense.
Right.
If I don't make the save, then the offenseman can't score and we can't win. So I think being back there and knowing that my teammates can trust me and stop the ball to get it back to them so they can score was a big part of playing goalie. I think it's definitely a lot of mental, in your head. If you let in a weak goal, you just got to shake it off. And like you said, the big saves help your team out, and you just try to make those in desperate times to try to get your team pumped up again.
Hey guys, any of you guys can answer this, all of you can answer this. D10 championship game, any trash talking going on during the game?
Yep.
Well, we played prep.
Yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there. Figured there'd be a little bit.
That's one of the biggest things before the game. Coach Gump and Coach Stump actually were on my case about that, not talking back. They know I don't like hearing a lot of crap on me.
Because they don't want you to lose focus. If you're talking and chirping and you're losing focus on what your job is, if they want to do it, let them do all they want, and you just go out and do your job. And hey, the best thing was you walked away with the D10 trophy. They didn't, so they could chirp all they want.
Yeah.
Didn't help them much.
We forgot to ask Alex, what's your plans after school?
My plans are to also join the Air Force for either mechanical work or construction work.
Air Force.
We're well protected, man. We a couple of young intelligent.
Brody, you coming back next year?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Just wanted to check. Hey, I mean, we
What about you? What are you doing next year?
He's going to the Air Force.
You already talking about that.
That's right, you going to the Air Force. You're so quiet, I forgot you were going to the Air Force. Sorry.
Hey, we appreciate you guys. I mean, and Coach Gunn's glad that you guys, got the District 10 title. But now you two have bigger shoes to fill. Well, you, not so much you. I mean, you got 3 seniors that are leaving, so, well, actually Sam Cornell, too. He wasn't here. He was sick, but, I mean, he was a big difference, too. The whole Sam, I mean, he really stepped up, played superb. But we really thank you guys. Congratulations on that trophy right there.
Thanks.
I mean, nobody could take that away. Now you can keep rubbing into your brother.
This thing will be in the high schools. It's 2019, 2070. This thing will be somewhere in high school. I don't know if it'll be showed, but it'll be somewhere.
Has to.
This thing, and you guys were the first ones to bring it home. And you beat Prep. It's even added
He loves that.
And that makes it so much better. I remember in middle school, my last year, after we already had the win against Prep in the championship, they beat us, and that was the worst feeling. And then getting the chance to beat them in a bigger game, 10 times better.
And you guys coming back, the bullseye's on you now. So you're going to have to work twice as hard to get this back next year, because everybody's going to be gunning for the Bulldogs. And you don't want it any other way. You want to be top dog. So thanks for coming on.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.
For Ed Marin, this is Mike Fiorella. You've been watching Sports Close-Up on Armstrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, direct your attention to the field where District 10 Lacrosse Chairman Bill Flanagan presents the Meadville Bulldogs with your 2019 District 10 Championship Trophy. Congratulations to the Bulldogs.